What is the requirement for an H-1B?
4 requirements. 1, you have to have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. 2, you have to be working in a job that relates to your degree. So for example, if you want to be sponsored as a botanist, you better have a degree in botany. You know what a botanist is?
Yeah, plant person.
Plant person, correct. Yes. Number 3, your degree has to relate to your job offer on an H-1B. So it's a college degree, minimum requirements for the job. Your degree relates to that college education.
Right.
And you actually have the degree.
Right.
Minimum requirements for the job require a degree. You have the degree and it relates. So for example, I'll give you 2 examples.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a college degree in business. Okay. And you want to get sponsored as a secretary at Goldman Sachs. You don't need, you're working in a Wall Street firm, but you don't need a college degree to be a secretary. It's not the minimum requirements for the job. Let's take another thing. You want to work at Goldman Sachs and Wall Street, but your degree is in history. That has nothing to do with working in finance. You're not going to work
be
there.
able to, got it.
And of course, you got to be paid the minimum wage, the average wage of similarly employed workers.
All right. Now, Sarah has a question saying, my employment-based green card interview is scheduled on June 10th, 2019. I already bought my plane ticket to go home on June 12th. Is it safe for me to travel after my green card interview using my EAD?
As long as you have advanced parole on it, yes, unless they deny you, and they shouldn't. Hopefully you get your green card. Either you're traveling on your green card or you're traveling on your advanced parole. You're not going to travel on your work permit unless it's the combo card.
Real New Moon said, I'd like to sincerely thank you for the good job that you're doing for the immigration community. God bless you.
I appreciate it.
Second, I did my biometric the 2nd of January 2019 and have not yet received my EAD. My case status has not changed from what it was since January, but I want to know if it's normal or am I out of the normal waiting time?
It's about 5.5 months for a work permit. It should be 90 days, but under Donald Trump, nothing's normal.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I do receive Social Security disability, and I want to sponsor my wife. Is it possible to bring my wife into the United States?
On Social Security disability, yes.
You're in the USA on a visitor's visa, but your boyfriend, who's a citizen, wants you to stay and marry him. How long do I have to stay in the country before I marry him? And will there be any implications if I stay before I marry him? Also, I have a B1 visitor's visa and I'm presently on vacation. Someone said it's important for me to download and fill out the I-94. Why is that important as well?
We all know the answer already.
We know all the answers.
We know all these answers, right?
I know most of those answers,
right.
yeah.
You got to wait 90 days. So you came to visit, your intention is visiting. If you get married within your first 90 days, the government's going to say you lied at the airport. You said you were coming to visit, and it was obviously your intention to get married. So number 1, you must wait 90 days. After 90 days, you can get married, and then you can adjust your status. Why you need to download your I-94? You don't. You just need proof that you made a legal entry into the United States. Your visa and the stamp in your passport is more than enough. But wait 90 days, then file your adjustment. And after you file your adjustment, the interviews are coming at probably in 6 months. So it'll be about 9 months you're here before you get your green card.
All right. So please provide information about intra-country adoption of a relative. None of the parents are alive, and a U.S. citizen uncle is only a family for a relative child and already have the adoption deed for the child. What's the procedure to bring her here?
Well, you have to go through a pre-adoption here in the United States and do a new adoption here because the adoption in the other country is not going to do it. So you have to go to your local court, do a pre-adoption, get a pre-adoption certificate, then file the I-600 to bring over the child that you want to adopt. You also need permission from the country that you are adopting the child, that child can leave in your custody. You can't go to a country and just kidnap children. So you're going to need something from that country as well, depending on what country you're from. We do this all the time here at Spartan Bernstein.
Tommy says, if I overstayed my B2 visa for 3 months and then filed and traveled internationally with advanced parole, if at a port of entry they don't want to parole. They don't want to parole me in. What can I say or do? I'm married to a U.S. citizen.
They'll parole you in, but on the 1 in a billion they don't, you demand to see an immigration judge.
If work authorization expired in over the 180 days for renewal, is there a chance of renewal if applied for? If they're still pending AOS?
Yes, you can renew your work permit if you have a pending adjustment of status. Absolutely.
Tally said, if your current joint sponsor withdraws, can you bring another affidavit from a new sponsor straight to the immigration interview?
Yes.
Anita Martinez saying, applied for a VAWA January 18. Maybe, I don't know if it's 2018 or January 18th, but how long will this process take? I was married with a U.S. citizen. My record is clean, or when can I file for a mandamus? And do I have to pay for a mandamus?
You have to pay a lawyer for a mandamus. It's going to take at least 18 to 24 months. You got to wait for a VAWA to be extended past September 30th before you even think of mandamus. And number 2, you should wait at least 12, 15 months before you also think of mandamus. But right now, if you do nothing, it's 18 to 24 months.
Okay, so...
She can give us a call at the end of the year.
If this was January last year?
She can give us a call at the end of the year.
Okay.
Ismaila said, after my marriage, I've submitted my adjustment of status 7 months ago and still have not received a biometric appointment. What's my next step?
You have a problem with your case. Give me a call. The next step is call Brad.
Luletta Brown says, hey Brad, my husband did my filing, my full package in October 26th of 2018. Now I see on USCIS processing time is October 2018. Does that mean that they reach the 26th, my status will change when they reach the 26th?
No, it means that they'll schedule you for an interview.
Okay.
Or a work permit. I'm not sure what she's reading in terms of. Just means that they're not changing your status at that point. What they're doing is they've reached your application to review it and do whatever needs to happen.
Okay. It's a follow-up. I don't understand their thing. They reach October 14, 2018 in their processing time.
Right. That means people who filed an application on October 14th, there is a human being at immigration looking at it now. That's what it means. Okay. Before that, nobody looked at it.
Mesa said, I applied for a VAWA application on November 9th and I still have not received anything. I'm really worried about it. And when I call them, they keep telling me they can't help me. So what do you think I need to do?
You need a lawyer who's going to help you. If you didn't get anything since October, there's a problem. If you have a receipt notice, then you don't have a problem. If you didn't file an adjustment with the VAWA, then you should have. Then you got a problem again because you should have got a work permit.
Hey team, I sent my application to my EAD renewed, but it was sent back along with the fee. I attached with the application as checked. They sent me the letter saying they will help for 180 days extension. Why is this?
It means you screwed up the application, so you got to fix whatever the problem is.
Kahai said, if my case is in Lee Summit, Missouri, why do I need to write to the Vermont Service Center for information? Would you have any idea?
My sister's on a K-1 visa now. She broke up with her fiance. Can she marry someone else? What are the repercussions?
On a fiance visa?
Yeah, she was on a K-1
Did she marry
visa.
the man?
She broke up with her fiance, so no.
Okay, so the repercussions are you can marry someone else, but she's going to need a provisional waiver, go home, and then they're going to question her on the validity of both relationships. Did she really enter to marry this man? Because she never did. So what is the validity of that relationship? Was there any fraud there? And then the second marriage, she's really going to need help of a lawyer.
Will a U.S. citizen's spouse lose SSI if they petition for their immigrant spouse? Anne-Marie wants to know.
No, they will not.
Giovanna Plummer says, can a U.S. citizen be deported?
No, they cannot.
Mukhtar said, my friend came in with another person's document and name. Now he's met a U.S. citizen and he's about to get married. He once had TPS and went out of the country and then came back. Any chances he's actually going to get a green card?
Yeah, he's going to file an adjustment, but he's going to need a waiver for the fraud.
I have a Social Security card, which I got when I was in college when I applied for the OPT. The OPT has expired about 2 years now. Anyways, I found a job. They gave me a W-4 and an I-9 form to fill out. Should I fill them out knowing I'm out of status?
No, because you are committing fraud by saying you're entitled to a benefit, which is a job, by filing the I-9 when you're not, and that is punishable by jail.
Mm.
Woo!
And if you make a false claim to citizenship, you're never going to get a green card for the rest of your life.
So what should he do now?
Go find another job that's not requiring an I-9.
Dang.
Also, maybe
It's unfortunate what you have to do these days.
Sheesh.
also make sure to find you an attorney that tells you those things before you start filling out
Man.
things and it's fraud, y'all. Tommy wants to know, has a follow-up question about not being let back in at a port of entry when he has advanced parole. What are some of the reasons they wouldn't parole you back in if you have advanced parole? Anything specific, Brad?
You're a terrorist, Tommy. You're a criminal. You have a criminal record. You have some communicable disease that's going to spread like wildfire across the United States of America. You committed fraud that they know about at the airport. They find cocaine in your luggage. You know,
Sheesh.
I mean, all the bad reasons. You know, think of everything bad you could do at the airport.
Right.
And that would be a reason why they won't let you in.
So don't
If you've otherwise been a good person, you don't have a criminal record, and you're in a good relationship, there's no reason not to let you in. You know, obviously you can't stay out on advanced parole forever. So actually one of the reasons that they may not let you in is if you stay out for 6, 8, 9 months. So my advice is don't stay out for more than 2 weeks.
All right, Larry Williams has a question for our last one for now. I want to ask, my serving military citizen brother can file green card of his grandmother.
Serving military brother can file for grandma?
Yeah, so
Citizen
his,
brother,
So his
yeah.
brother, who's a serving military citizen,
No,
can
you
he
cannot-
file
you
for the
can't
grandmother?
Whether you're in the military or not, you can't file for grandma.
So how can they get grandma here?
That he can file for his mother or father. His mother or father would show up, wait 5 years, and then become a citizen, then file for grandma.
Wow.
But you can only go one generation up the ladder. One generation up the
Oh
ladder.
man. How about if the parents are passed? I'm not saying
Then
that that's
grandma has to find a new way.
another way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Start introducing grandma to some men.
Hey, listen,
Come on,
everybody
grandma.
needs love.
Never too late.
It's just never too late.
Never too late to
That's
fall
true.
in love.
This is
Okay.
true.